actually probably the only guy from technically the elite that got a win tonight was Adam Page defeated Pac in a singles match. It was a rematch from actually it was a rubber match. The last one was seen on AEW Dynamite episode 1. This was my run up for match of the night. I love Adam Page. I love what he's kind of turning into. He's really grown as a performer, and I don't think there's a better overall package bad guy than Pac right now.
Pac's fantastic as a heel, absolutely. Yeah. It's as I was saying, I guess you didn't read my review, but it was kind of a weird dynamic because you had Pac, who's the high flying guy, going out there and doing all of the the mean heel guy power stuff and clotheslines and beatdowns, and then you have Adam Page, who's the tough cowboy who's out there doing flips and dives and throwing himself around the ring like that. And it was kind of weird, but it worked really well. Hangman Page has definitely improved a lot. It was a really good match. I agree. It was really, they worked their ass off. I thought they're actually having a rematch on Dynamite tomorrow night, I guess, too, or whenever this is airing. But
oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Another. Okay, I did not hear that. So another.
Yeah, no, they actually announced it. Yeah, for Dynamite, they're doing that. They're doing it again, which is an odd choice. I don't know if I would go that direction, but I mean, it was a good match, and I'd be looking forward to watching it again. A little surprised that Page went over again, because I feel like Pac was a guy who really, really needed that win again. But I guess the thing is, if they're not going to be pushing him towards the world title match right away, then it might be counterproductive to have him keep winning all these matches if he's not getting a title shot. So I don't know if that was the thinking that they were going with there, but no, it's good for Hangman Page. I was sad to hear that Hunter Horse Helmsley had passed away, so we couldn't see him coming out again. Yeah, it's
terrible. May he rest in peace. Yeah,
may he rest in peace. Yeah, I know. So that was too bad. Maybe he'll get another horse. I'm assuming he's a cowboy. He probably has another one, but
I hope so. It was a heck of an entrance when he came out.
I know it's been a rough year for the legends here. We've lost all these legends, and now we lost Hunter Horse Helmsley. So it's. What can you do?
That's true. Life goes on. Speaking of life going on, next up, Shawn Spears with the great Tully Blanchard defeated Joey Janela. I kind of feel like this was a throwaway. For me, this match would have been better suited on the pre-show. I don't know. I mean, Shawn Spears, I like the pairing with Tully Blanchard and Joey Janela, the quote-unquote deathmatch guy. It just really wasn't there for me, this match.
It was an average match. I gave it 2.5 stars, I think. It was an okay match. The problem that they're running into now with Shawn Spears, because they're trying to establish him as kind of a toppish guy again, and he went out. He had the big thing with Cody, which I was really not impressed with the Cody match so much. Everybody was really, really raving over it, but I mean, I don't think he's done anything since then. I don't think it helped him all that much. But the main problem that they're having right now is that Tully Blanchard is just overshadowing the hell out of Shawn Spears right now, and that's not good. They're making Tully Blanchard's coming off like a huge star, and all it makes me think is like, geez, they should be doing something with Tully Blanchard, like put him with MJF or something, like he's killing it. Like the spike pile driver off the stairs for the finish. I mean, like, look how old this dude is, and he's going out there and getting heat better than most of the heels in wrestling today. He's still got it,
Yeah, he's in great shape. His facials are just on par with where they were his entire career, and I think you're right. I think Shawn Spears, and that's probably why I put him with Tully Blanchard, right, was to get him that next level of charisma. But he doesn't, some people have it and some people don't. And Tully Blanchard for his entire career has had it. And right now you just have Tully Blanchard with Shawn Spears.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Joey Janela, I mean, he's a guy that can afford losses, right? I mean, for him, like, wins and losses really don't count. You know what you're going to get when he comes out there.
Yeah, Joey can always get himself over again. He's the guy who has like the hardcore matches, and it's like he's got his shtick, and yeah, he's somebody he's kind of like Orange Cassidy, and that the win and loss thing isn't going to really appeal to him so much because he can just go out and put himself through a table and do his wacky stuff and
set himself on fire, jump off a building.
Set himself on fire, yeah, exactly. Whatever, staple stuff to his head, whatever, pull out his it's like. The win-loss record is not terribly important. He's a guy, and he's got a spot, and he knows what his spot is. So yeah, he's terrible. Wasn't terribly concerning that he lost.
Right, and he plays his part well. Next up was the AEW World Tag Team Triple Threat match. It was SoCal Uncensored, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky against the Lucha Brothers and Private Party. For me, I mean, I don't know about you, but this match started off all kinds of a mess in the beginning. I feel like it was very out of sync for the first half. I mean, it wasn't a long match at all. It was just a little less than 50, about 13 minutes. But I feel like the second half of the match really shined. And I think SoCal Uncensored are doing the best work of their career right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scorpio Sky is fantastic, obviously. Yep. Like, he's killing it right now. Private Party, they did. Private Party kind of stuck out in there a little bit. They looked fantastic against the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks were doing everything in their power in that match on Dynamite to turn them into stars, and it's just I just don't think Private Party is ready for that level yet. But they tried. I don't think it really worked. I think they didn't really fit in there. The Lucha Brothers are just so far ahead of everybody else that it's crazy. Like that's the other thing is if the Bucks couldn't win the titles, then the Lucha Brothers really should have been the ones to get it instead. So, but SCU is they're doing some great work on the tail end of Kazarian and Daniel's career. It's really great. The match was I'd say that's fair that it was kind of disjointed a little bit at the beginning there. I mean, once they started doing all the high spots, then it couldn't help but get better. Obviously, the Lucha Brothers can't help to be awesome no matter what they're doing there. So they managed to pull it together. I thought it was really good overall. I think I gave it like 3.25 stars, something like that. It was totally acceptable, and I would watch it again. But it was nothing I needed to. Nothing I would call the best match of the night and go back and watch.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think the right team won. I think with SoCal SCU just winning the titles, you want to keep them on there for a little time to at least build them up, and then when they lose, it's going to mean something.
Yeah, exactly.
Riho defeated Emi Sakura, and I feel like a match that really wasn't. The match was good. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like maybe the build-up was a little bit lacking. With all of the talent they have in the AEW women's division, they probably could have told a better story, making the crowd care a little more. Am I wrong in that?
Yeah, no, it's. They had an interesting story with the Emi Sakura training her and everything like that. It was really weird. They've had thousands of matches together, I'm sure. I mean, it was another one. It was a really good match. But yeah, it didn't feel like the crowd was super into it. It feels like Riho has more of the crowds on the Dynamite shows than she did on this pay-per-view show. Maybe because there's more of a casual audience watching Dynamite. I'm not really sure because she has she's really captured that teenage girl demographic that they're going after. Riho is just has been spiking the ratings in spades in that area.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's really interesting. Like Riho is just killing like everything else in the quarter hours for that particular demographic is like. I think it's like 12 to 16-year-old girls or something like that. It's just, they're all over her. So, I thought the match was. I actually thought the match wasn't as good as the tag team match they had in Dynamite. I really liked that tag team match on Dynamite, the one where Sakura pinned her to set up the title match. I like to say her with Shanna and the other girl from Britain. They thought they did a fantastic job together in a tag match. But this match was really good. As always, once they get into the crazy roll-ups and everything like that, it was really energetic. I thought it was another one I thought it was quite good, but ultimately a little bit forgettable. Honestly, I might have even liked to see a rematch with Riho and Britt Baker instead, as much as people seem to dislike Britt Baker for some reason. But I like her, and I thought the match on Dynamite told a good story, and it would have worked on the pay-per-view here. But this was pretty good as well. And Riho went over and continues to look strong, and that's okay.
Do you think they're going right with Brandy and Awesome Kong to Riho? I mean, I know she came out in the pre-show. It doesn't, which was a little bit different to me. I don't know if they're going after Britt Baker next, or who's going to be the next challenger for the AEW Women's title.
I really like Awesome Kong. I'm so sick of Brandy. She just, I mean, I like it's nice having her on TV, but it's just like you can I don't know. I know she's really smart, but the Stephanie McMahon thing is just the wrong role for her. She was doing really good as being part of Cody's entourage and acting there like that. And now the thing where she's off on her own is just that's not working for me. But I mean, Awesome Kong, of course, is just great. And I mean, my God, Awesome Kong against Riho, and just like,
oh yeah,
like you can even, I can't even imagine like Kong throwing her around the ring like a lawn dart. And that'll be, I'm sure they'll find something fantastic to do if they go in that direction. Although Kong went after B. Priestley, I guess in the pre-show, so that's kind of where they're going there to start. So maybe they're gonna go with a little bit of a slow build there or something. I don't know, but yeah, that would be quite the thing. As long as Brandy doesn't get in the ring and actually win the title or something like that. That's what I'm kind of worried about, because like everybody
she'll
else
be the
in the
one.
Elite,
Yeah, she'll be the one out of all
the elite who puts herself over. Yeah,
to hold the title. Yeah, that would be that'll be 2014 Stephanie McMahon all over again, and that's the last thing everybody wants.
Yeah.
Speaking of champions, Chris Jericho, AEW heavyweight champion with Jake Hager, defeated Cody via technical submission in about half an hour. I liked the match. I mean, top to bottom, I thought it told a great story. It was one of those older school, to me, NWA matches. However, I just think the finish fell a little bit flat. What do you think?
Well, I think Cody knocked himself silly on that dive. I was halfway through, so I can't hold it against him too much. But I thought he bladed, but then they showed a close up of the cut, and it's like, oh nope, he smashed his head into the metal. Okay,
he looked like Nate Diaz from a couple nights before.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But yeah, he was kind of goofy like Nate Diaz too, I think. But yeah, no, I loved the match. I thought it was, it's the finish. I thought the only thing with it was that although this kind of worked itself out. The finish was the lion tamer was not. I saw what they were going for, and MJF throwing in the towel, and I thought, oh well, man, like the lion tamer wasn't devastating enough in that form to lead to the finish like that, right? Like that's crazy. They're trying to build up some kind of ambiguity about MJF, everything, and they would have had to really put Jericho over stronger to do it. And then I'm typing up this whole thing about it while I'm doing the show. And I'm like, okay, well, he's got plausible deniability, and they can do a long build thing here where Cody accuses of him throwing in the towel too soon, and they can go do this and this and this, and then MJF comes in the ring and kicks him in the nuts, turns on him. I'm like, oh, okay then, and then I deleted that whole thing, just like
right. They went right for it.
They went right for it. It's like, okay, well, there we go. That doesn't matter then. So clearly he did it because he was turning heel, and it didn't matter that the lion tamer was not the most devastating finishing move in the whole thing. But yeah, I thought it was. I'm just sucker for those old school matches there like that. They're building the heat and reversing the figure fours, and Cody's fighting from underneath, and he's got a big gash in his head, and it's just like, yes, this is good stuff. This is what I'm. This is what I'm looking for. Jericho's a asshole heel, and everybody hates him, and he's total piece of crap, and Cody's like in his hometown practically, and fighting as the good guy in white, and Jericho's the bad guy in black, and Jake Hager's interfering. Yeah, and it's just like, oh, this is good stuff. This is very NWA-ish. So that was exactly, that was a real highlight for me. Yeah, I gave it 4.25 stars. It was really good, simple storytelling. That's exactly what I'm looking for in a wrestling main event.
Yeah, I don't need 27 different swerves. I grew up on the NWA, and that's where those are the title matches that I enjoy the most. And I think they kind of they brought the crowd down to zero, and they worked at good pace. And by the end, they were out of the palm of their hands. So I love that match, which would have been my match of the night until Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega murdered each other for just about 40 minutes. This match had everything. And Kenny Omega takes another loss. However, unsanctioned lights out match doesn't count against his record. What do you make of that? And is that the right call?
Yeah. I mean, okay. Here's the thing. They delivered everything that they promised and then some. So you can say like WWE with the Hell in a Cell stuff where they go out and you don't get any kind of significant violence and you get DQs, and this one here, the story was very clearly told here. The story here was, Jon Moxley gets put in an unsanctioned match that doesn't count. So he says, okay, I'm going to go out and have the most violentest match humanly possible, and I'm going to murder him live on pay-per-view, and you're going to regret putting me in this situation. And that was the story. And they went out, and that's exactly what they did.